Hello and welcome to episode 56 of the podcast with your boys, fully vaxxed.
And relaxed. Mark, I'm here.
And me, also vaxxed and relaxed.
We're fully vaccinated. Don't worry. No need to protect your ears.
Yeah, you don't need to wear your
sanitized.
You don't need to wear your ear masks.
yeah. I was doing that.
I hope everyone's been doing that up until this episode.
Yeah, I hope so. Anyway, that's what they were saying. Enfit and all. But yeah, fully vaxxed. It's great to be here.
How you feeling?
I actually felt terrible.
Oh, man, I felt like
afterwards.
Shit after my one as well.
Yeah. I was like
mad aches.
Yeah, because the job gives you paid time off if you have side effects from the vaccine for some reason. I don't know why. So I was already planning to take time off afterwards, but then I felt a bit rubbish. I felt a bit grim.
And Jesus,
I was I kind of needed this. I kind of wasted my time off. I was like, oh fuck, haven't been sleeping well either. At least, had a headache there the other day. I'm like, this vaccine thing is kind of, I don't know about
Look
this.
down, I got 4 nipples now. It's mad.
Yeah, I'm feeling all these kind of changes. Yeah. So I don't know. It's all right. It's great to be here. I haven't been in the pub yet. I'll sure. It takes 7 days to kick in. It's on my 8th day today. I don't even want to go to the pub because the pub's closed at like 11.
Did you get your passport? Yeah.
Yeah, I got that the day after. Yeah. Handy enough, yeah.
Be handy for tomorrow for token.
We're floating token tomorrow. Everyone wants to float in for a meetup for a Parapod meetup in real life tomorrow. Even though this will be released 3 days after tomorrow. So
just remind yourself, 3 days beforehand to come. Like when you hear this, remind yourself on Friday, 3 days beforehand, to come to token.
Give yourself a call into the past, or just
do a looper on it.
Just feel bad that you missed out, maybe.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
We had an amazing time.
Yeah, we met people. Fucking Colin Farrell was there. It was great.
Oh man, when Neil did that thing, I can't believe he did that.
When he did that backflip, ridiculous.
What was he doing? Dance Dance Revolution, take it easy.
Stop! Can't wait.
Can't wait for it.
What precious memories.
Yeah, haven't even been made yet.
But they'll be great when they are made.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I was on a fully packed bus this week.
Oh, that is so grim.
Yeah.
That is so grim.
Dirt, man.
Yeah. Was someone sitting beside you?
Yeah. No, man. Someone wasn't beside me. I had to sit beside someone.
Stand up.
No, good man, because it was fucking packed downstairs as well. I looked in, I was like,
what bus is this?
It was the 16.
The airport bus.
Yeah,
that's always going to get fucked, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was on the Lewis there during the week, and it was just packed. It was just as the schools let out. So it was all the kids, and then there's people I don't know, people on the dole and stuff like that. Just felt like coming into town or something like that. But oh man, it was packed, and I was sitting there. I got my seat. The
Lewis is hard enough to get a seat anyway. yeah,
usually, but if you get on a Parnell, usually you'll get a seat. There's certain ones that will be always empty. But I got my seat, and within 2 stops, the thing was fully packed. And usually people just stand. You have your seat next to you, and people would stand rather than sit next to you. But I was sitting there, and I'd known that it had moved to 100% capacity the day before, or just a few days previous. And I was nervous the entire time. My legs were shaking. I was sweaty brow. I was like, this is it. I saw some guy 3 carriages down, and we made eye contact, and I was like, don't do it. Don't do it.
You fucking there.
Because everyone was abiding by the 75% thing. And I saw him come towards me. He saw my seat, and he just sat down next to me. And I was like, oh my God, it's begun. We're back to the new normal is gone. We're back to the old normal. I don't like it.
No, I hate it.
I hate it.
I hate it so much.
We need double-decker Lewises. We need more public transport. I don't want to sit beside anyone.
I know. I fucking hate. Man. All right, here's story time, right?
Let's go.
I was on the bus before. Probably 2 years ago or 3 years ago at this stage. Pre-pandemic. And I'm sitting in the bus, right? And I have my headphones on, and the bus is packed, but I'm at a seat that's by the window. And this massive dude sits down beside me, right?
Yeah.
And I was just I had to scooch over a little bit because my shoulders were rubbing off, and I was like, let's readjust, whatever.
It's a bit weird.
And I had my headphones on, and I could just hear him mumbling through my headphones. I could hear him mumbling. I was like, what the fuck is he saying or whatever? And then he just starts roaring and shouting to people up at the front of the bus, and I could hear him through my headphones. He's like, he was like shouting to these girls that are down at the front of the bus. He was like, "He is not the chosen one." And I was sitting there and I was like,
Stare straight ahead.
I was like, oh my fuck. And I turned down my music entirely. And he's like, "He's not the chosen one." And I was like, I'm fucking dead. This is it. I'm gonna fucking die. Because this dude
I've heard that story before. So he just gets up with a knife, starts stabbing.
If he's hitting someone, it's gonna be me. Because I'm trapped. Like I can't get up.
Yeah.
And I'm like ready to like defend myself basically. And he pulls out his phone and he's talking on the phone, and I can hear him just saying like, "Yeah, no, he's after killing someone. I'm coming off the bus now." And I was like, "Oh, I'm fucking dead. I'm dead. He's talking about himself in the future." He got off the bus then and just went on his merry way, whatever. But Jesus,
he was convicted of murder a few days later.
That was the scariest 10 minutes of my, because this dude is fucking big. Like he could have just choked me out right there and then if he wanted to.
Yeah, that's always weird. But it's always hilarious how like things like that happen on public transport. Everyone just stares straight ahead and pretends like it isn't happening.
No one
will do anything. Yeah.
The only people that turned around were the people that he shouted at, and they just looked at him and like turned around and just kept talking.
Everyone's just like, "What the fuck is he doing?"
I really want to know what the conversation at the front of the bus was, or if there even was a conversation that like not warranted that, but like that made him have that reaction.
Yeah, imagine the kind of conversation where that would be
he is not the chosen.
A proper response. What were they talking
someone
about?
Like fucking down in the back of the bus, like.
Yeah, my God.
Oh no, Eric, man, I could just feel like the tension in the bus. Be like, "Oh fuck!" Does everyone like looked? God bless him. I hope he's okay. But Jesus, I was like, fuck.
That's the thing. You never know. Public transport, sitting beside other people.
Mm-hmm.
No thanks. No thank you.
No.
My God.
I felt bad sitting beside the person. I was like, I literally sat down. I was like, "I'm sorry."
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking standing though.
Yeah. Standing is the worst. I think I'd rather stand, like, you know, because sitting on the outside is like, it's only slightly better than standing. For me anyway. It's always been, you know, I need the window. I need to look out. I'm like a dog.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I need to look out as well.
So like I'm either staring at them, you know, kind of, or like just looking around.
Yeah.
Or I can just stand up and like look at my phone or something.
Because if you're sitting on the outside seat, you can only look forward. Like you can't look beside the person out past them. Like you have to look forward. Or
don't worry, man. I'm just looking out there.
Or at your phone. But like it's just like, oh, this.
And it's like, yeah, your elbow now.
Yeah, your elbow and your fucking people walking by.
Yeah.
Yeah, no thanks.
We need bigger buses. We need triple decker buses. We need more buses. No more cars. Sick of cars.
I need those. Remember the 1, 2, 3 when it used to be like
the bendy buses.
The bendy buses.
Yeah.
Double decker. That's what I need. I need a bendy double decker.
A bendy double decker. Man, that would be a nightmare to drive around.
I was like, whoa.
You just turn around the corner and just like the one at the back just falls over. Like, keep
going.
Keep going, man.
Oh.
Yeah, fuck that.
No, fuck that is right. You need to get a car. That's the solution.
A car, yeah. Adding to the problem, though. Adding to the problem.
The eternal problem.
Yeah. Plus, that's hard as well, you know? It'd be handy if they just banned cars.
Yeah, just end it.
Just
everyone
end
has bikes.
Yeah.
I saw this clip of like a Tesla like self-driving car. Those things just don't actually drive. Those things are fucked. Like they don't work at all yet. The car was driving like down this like very narrow road, and like your man had his hands hovering over the wheel because he's like, "Oh jeez, this is a bit scary." And it passes past all the narrow gaps or whatever, right? But then there's a sign that says "No right turn," and it's the pedestrian light is like on for the people, and the car just turns right, and he's like, "Whoa!" and he just launched it back onto the road.
Yeah.
The thing was about to mow down a couple of fucking pedestrians.
Kill a lot of pedestrians. That's the thing. How do they read the signs? There's no way they could work. Like if you travel to a different country, say, like you're gonna have different signs, and some countries will have like missing signs, or like the signs won't be legible and stuff.
I imagine that like. It can read it. It's like because Google Maps. If you're like using Google Maps will tell you what like you can't go down this because it was following a path. That's the thing. You could see the GPS on the screen, and it was meant to keep going straight, but the car just decided to fucking turn right on a one-way street. Pedestrians crossing the road. And it's meant to scan those pedestrians and see that they're there, but it's just like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah, it's meant to. It's like we're gonna get around to that
Yeah.
at some point. You know, that'll be there. Like,
Yeah, the last version will be there. Don't worry.
yeah, no, that whole shit is a fucking scam. Like, just get buses. It's literally that simple.
You just
More
do it.
buses.
That was the thing with that you want to make like underground.
Yeah, his hyperlink. What's the point?
Just
make an underground.
Just make an underground, yeah.
Yeah,
Or just
yeah.
have more buses,
Yeah,
more
exactly,
public transport.
Yeah. Like, yeah, the self-driving vehicle. Yeah, I think that's called a bus. You know,
Yeah.
you get on and you don't drive.
Yeah.
You just get taken to your destination.
Yeah.
We've had that for what, 100 years.
Yeah, we've had it for a while.
Yeah.
Thousands of years. There's been carriages beforehand. Like.
Exactly. Yeah, the horse is all the work.
Yeah.
Like, you know, literally that's what it was. Horse and carriage makes more sense than a Tesla. Like,
Yeah, best AI ever. It's
yeah,
a horse.
yeah, it's just a pure horse. Like,
Oh no.
yeah, scumbags.
Scumbags, and they're all racing off to space as well now.
Yeah, fuck that.
If that's not a sign that like you need to tax the shit out of billionaires, I don't know what the fuck it is.
Yeah. Just get rid of them.
But people are like,
Get
oh man,
rid of
it's cool though. It's like, it's not fucking cool.
It's not cool. It'd be cool if we could all do it, but we can't.
We can't.
Only they can do it.
And it's
The
also
chosen ones.
and what is it, like fucking 15 million tons of carbon dioxide are like launched into the atmosphere every time they do it or something like that.
Yeah, and when they're jettisoning different parts of like the fucking launch capsule, it just falls into the ocean. They're like, it's not our problem
Yeah,
anymore.
It's Atlantis' problem now.
yeah. It's Aquaman's problem now. He's a real guy, by the way.
Godzilla's coming, I'm fucking telling you.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. Shin Gojira, he's here.
He's here and he's big. Oh shit, we didn't watch Shin Godzilla this week.
I was thinking about. I was like, oh,
Fuck.
We'll do next week.
Yeah, completely forgot about that. But
We'll do it some other time.
I watched The Blob.
The Blob again.
The Blob again, one more time.
What our theme this week?
Remakes.
Remakes.
Yeah.
We've talked about remakes before, but this time we're actually watching them
Yeah, I think
week on week.
we talked about like the Halloween remakes, the Rob Zombie ones, and I think I don't know what other remakes we've talked about.
We just talked generally about remakes before.
Yeah, we never investigated them through
Investigated
the lens of the movies that we were talking about.
them. Yeah, specifically. Back to back watching The Blob.
Yeah, and The Blob 1988.
88 versus 1958.
58, yeah, it's 30 years later. Pretty good movie. I enjoyed
I
it.
like The Blob. Very, very camp.
For the special effects, phenomenal.
The special effects are amazing because it's horrifying because the special effects in the original are so good and they really hold up the original. They make the original worth watching because otherwise the original is just like
Melodrama.
yeah, it's just like really basic kind of I don't know. It's not even like we wouldn't even call it a horror film, but the special effects almost make it a horror film because they're like oh, you know, it's like what's that gooey thing, and you also have like the whole thing of like what does it mean, like what is the goo, what is the blob, and then in this you have they just sort of level up the special effects to like, you know, fucking 90.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I think because one of the guys that did the special effects on this, he was on the fly, like the Cronenberg fly, which makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I think that's the reason why this film got made. It was because of the success of The Fly, and they're like, let's just remake other classic 50s and 40s monster movies. So they chose The Blob.
The Blob.
Don't know who the director is, but
Some guy.
mad fucking film. Jesus, like because like in the original Blob, you don't see like what happens to people when they're consumed by the blob. But 30 years later, they have the special effects to show you what a disintegrating human looks like.
And they're so like enthusiastic to show you.
Oh
like,
god,
they can't wait. Like they're just like, oh, this is it.
This is it.
And they have like the first scene where they show because the setup is like so similar to the original, but it's like a different story. It's not the same story.
There's like actual character development at the start of this film, which is something I appreciate because that dude fucking gets fucking axed almost immediately.
yeah, but you don't expect it because it's the whole thing. Oh, it's like the jock, you know, Chad, Stacy, they're going off to Makeout Creek.
He's the Steve McQueen of this movie.
Yeah, and he's sort of cast as the good guy. Like he's the popular kid, but he's got a heart, and he's after this young girl in his class or whatever. But there's also this like renegade guy, Randall, or so what's his name, Flag?
Yeah, Flag.
Yeah, and he's kind of like, you're thinking at the start, you're like, man, this kid's kind of a bad seed, you know, he's a bad egg. He's wearing a leather jacket, he rides a motorcycle, like, is he the bad guy? But then it turns it rapidly on its head, where whatever his name is, Chad, he gets
Chad, yeah.
he gets fucked up. He gets like, but like it's such like a tonal shift, or it's more like the film like laying down a marker. It's like, this is what this film is actually gonna be.
It's like because you see what the old guy that gets like eaten or like half eaten by the blob looks like, and like that's pretty gross. But then Chad gets consumed by you see the aftermath of what can happen with the blob. But then you see what the blob does when it gets someone, and it's like he's like reaching out and he's like, help me, and his face is like getting pulled back, and like he's like suffocating but also rapidly being digested. And like the girl's like trying to pull him out and his fucking arm comes off. Oh, it's brutal.
It's so grim. And she just faints. She's like, this is too much.
Man, it is a lot.
Too much. Yeah. It's so out of nowhere. Like,
but that's where this film shines, is in the special effects. Because it is very much like in that similar tone to like, it is a kind of Cronenberg movie. It is a very body horror like film. Yeah.
It's very, is this a melt film, like you were saying last week?
I don't know, because melt movies I've like
very specific kind of thing
are like slowly dissolving throughout the entire film.
Oh, okay.
So no, it's not. I thought it would be counted, but no, melt movies are something else.
Because it really focuses on that.
Oh Jesus, it does. Like this.
That's the main thing.
And so many more people die.
Yeah, like horribly. They get consumed, digested by the blob. The blob is everywhere. You know, you don't know where he's gonna be.
Yeah, that's the bit where like he's like in the drains as well, and your man's like, because that was a cool bit where like it kind of fakes you out, where the guy's like with the plunger and he puts his hand into the drain. You're like, oh, it's gonna knock on, but that doesn't happen. But then he can't get his hand out, and he's just pulled into the drain.
yeah, and it's like there's like the sounds, like the sound design, and like I don't know, like the way they because they show them getting pulled into the drain and like their bodies being like kind of like. Because there's other parts where they do the same thing. Like someone gets squashed into a really small space. This is definitely like kind of like a fetish film for some people, I'm sure. You know, there's definitely some community out there which rewatches this film for kicks.
Suffocated by the blob.
Yeah. And but they have loads of crush scenes and stuff like that where you see the bodies being like contorted and like disfigured, and it's like it's all in real time. It's like it's so gross.
It's so gross.
But it's great. Great to watch.
And even like it does a great job as well, where like the cop character in this film is similar to the nice cop character in the original 1958
Big Dave,
one. But that dude also gets fucking annihilated as well.
Yeah.
But you don't even you just see him because like he's like has something with like a waitress or something in like the cafe or whatever. This film has a kind of Twin Peaks kind of vibe to it, with like the set of the town.
It kind of does, yeah.
But and she's running away from the blob, and she's like in a phone booth, and the blob like is consuming the phone booth, and she's like there like trying to call, and then she's like get me the sheriff, and the like operator's like, oh, he's already at the cafe or whatever, and then she looks out and you can just see his like dissolved face, and like the badge is there and you just see his face melting away. Oh, it's fucking so gross. Brutal stuff. And then she gets demolished, like the explosion of the blob caving in the fucking phone booth was so like it's a punch in the gut, like you felt it.
Proper pop, like, you know. Yeah, no, it's a brutal film. It's a lot better than that. It's way more horrifying anyway.
Yeah,
than the original.
I definitely prefer the remake to the original.
Yeah. I think it's like a cult film as well. Like people really enjoy it now. It wasn't well received, I don't think, when it came out, but people really enjoy it now. Apparently,
but like it's a funny movie as well.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, yeah.
Like that bit with the condoms at the start of the film where he's just like...
Oh, ribbed, yeah.
And then the fucking chemist turns out to be the dad.
Yeah. He just takes down his paper. Ribbed.
That was so funny.
Oh my God. Yeah, because I thought that was setting up Chad to be like the hero or whatever. You know? It's like, he's the likable kind of rogue or whatever. He gets eaten by the blob straight away.
Dude gets his fucking shit wrecked.
Yeah.
And even his buddy doesn't even survive that long either.
Yeah.
But he was a bit of a date rapist. trying to get that girl really drunk, and then he's just like,
well, she's just pure sleep.
She's pure asleep, and
he's
like,
there
oh,
like,
button your top, oh, don't mind if I do. It's like,
oh, what are you doing?
This is
man?
definitely an 80s movie.
Yeah. She's pure asleep. She's like unconscious, and he's there like, oh, it's just weird. But then she turns out to be the Blob, and she eats him. It reminded me of that scene in SpongeBob where the granny turns out to be like that fucking. Remember, or the SpongeBob movie. You know, where the granny turns out to be the big monster and the big hamburger monster or whatever. It's so fucking funny. But like that was a great scene though.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
because that was kind of like that's kind of ahead of its time because it's like it just pure eats him. In any other film, they'd be like, I suppose you usually get like a sort of comeuppance, but the way they do it, like her face collapses in.
Yeah, the way that the Blob works in this movie is very. It changes because like I didn't understand that because the Blob was like. Inside of her?
Yeah, that sort of confused me with Invasion of the Body Snatchers because it's very, very similar the way they do it. Because, she's like a decoy. Like, she's been consumed by the Blob, but the Blob has like reconstituted her as like a decoy for the fella.
Yeah.
For somehow.
Because then
which isn't really addressed.
No, it's not. The Blob never does that again because her face caves inwards.
And she turns into the Blob.
But the Blob is like pretty fucking big at that stage. So I've no idea. I don't know how the Blob did that.
I always thought the Blob could, like the original. I thought the Blob had possessed half the town, as we said last week.
Yeah,
they're just bad actors. But I think it makes more sense that the Blob is kind of like a, distributed kind of thing. In terms of like a reading. If you want to make a reading, this film doesn't attempt to have a reading really. It's just like the 80s,
Oh, it's just the 80s. And
we
got cool practical effects, and we're gonna utilize them.
Yeah. It does drag on though for fucking ages, man.
It does, and it is kind of it's pretty repetitive.
Yeah, because I thought it was ending, and it's like half an hour left. It's only an hour and a half, to be fair.
Yeah, but it does drag a little bit.
But it seems like it does its story, and then it's like. Redoing the ending like again and again and again. But this big man Flag is like turns out to be the hero.
Yeah.
And there's a big fight in the sewers and stuff like that.
Yeah, what did you think about the bit where like it's the government and it turns out to be it's biochemical warfare, and that's what the Blob actually is?
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I suppose you could have a reading there, about
I feel like
the state sort of...
I feel like there has to be something there.
A conspiracy kind of thing, yeah. Especially, 88. What does that mean, It's like controlled opposition. The fact that they were like the town itself, like the Blob was a biochemical warfare experiment that sort of got unleashed in the town. And like the scientists didn't want this to happen, but they were willing to let the population sort of...
they're expendable at this stage.
To take the hit just to see what would happen, pretty much. And so that's a whole thing at the end. That has to be. There's something about that, especially considering the paranoia of the late Cold War. And obviously tying back into the old reading of the Blob is, the Red Menace.
Yeah.
The Red Menace, but what if it was controlled by the government?
What does that mean? And how, we're like civilians are expendable.
Yeah.
In terms of like utilizing war, in terms of like having weapons, like civilians are therefore expendable.
Yeah.
It has to be something there. My other thing I wanted to talk about was that kid. I did not expect him to kill that kid.
Wait, which kid?
The kid in the sewers.
I don't even remember. Wait, what happened?
Remember the bit where like our fucking Mary Sue character, what the fuck her name is, runs off to the theater and like saves her little brother and his mate, but they end up going into the sewers and running away or whatever. But then his mate ends up getting dragged into the water by the Blob, and you're like, she's gonna save him, and then he comes out and he's already like, help me, and his face is melting.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus, that kid got fucked up as well.
Yeah, I thought that was the one rule, that you can't kill kids.
Yeah, I did not expect. Apparently, the producers were like, you're not allowed to kill a kid, but they did it anyway.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
What rate? It must have got like an X rating then or something.
I don't know, because that kid
it's intense. Yeah,
that kid got like brutalized. Like,
yeah, no one even thinks to kill a kid, because it's just like distasteful. But the Blob does it anyway.
The Blob does it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a fucking such a weird movie though.
Mm.
But pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Pretty-
I'd say it's worth a watch.
It's
If
a
you've
decent
nothing else to
remake.
watch, yeah,
A decent remake, a fun movie.
absolutely decent.
But then we also watched Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Indeed. The 1978 remake. There's been multiple remakes. I think of both these films.
I don't know about the Blob. I don't think the Blob has many remakes.
Does it not?
I think Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Has a few.
I think it does. I think
But
there's another one.
has others under like different names and stuff.
Is the Stuff a Blob remake?
No.
What's the Stuff?
The Stuff is a shit film where it's like a satire. I don't know. Some people really like it. I thought it was terrible. It's supposed to be like kind of comedic, kind of like a satire about consumerism. Where the Stuff, it's kind of like the Blob, where like they're selling a product, and it's the Stuff. It's like a jelly kind of substance, but like it turns people into zombies, and it takes control of them, of their minds, and it's really stupid about it in like a self-conscious way. It's like, oh, this is really, we're just being silly about this. But I just didn't get it. I was like, this isn't good. I didn't like it at all.
Because like the images I've seen of the Stuff is like the post or whatever, and it's like a woman screaming and she got the stuff coming out of her mouth and her eyes and stuff. It's like, oh, that looks gross.
Yeah, it's not really. There's the special effects from what I can remember aren't anything to write home about. I'd say
if they had the special effects of the Blob though, Jesus.
Yeah, maybe they could have done. They could have done. It's a decent concept anyway. But yeah, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I think they had like there's one in like the 90s as well. They did another one. Body Snatchers, I think it's just called. Yeah, but yeah.
I've never heard of that film, so maybe.
Yeah, this one is one of the greatest horror films of all time.
Yes.
Science fiction films, apparently.
Wildly regarded as like the greatest remake ever made.
Yeah,
alongside like The Thing and The Fly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which are two great films. Like this is a lot to live up to, and I think it really lived up to it.
I think so too.
I think it's really, really good film.
Yeah.
As Donald Sutherland as the main character. I didn't know he was like I didn't realize how old this film is. It's nearly 50 years old.
Man, it's mad old.
Yeah.
What did you say? 1978.
1978. Yeah.
Yeah. This comes out 10 years before The Blob, like.
Yeah.
Which is like it's like you could tell there's a massive difference between the two films, but like I haven't seen the original 1950s film, but so you tell us about the body snatchers because you saw the original
the
one.
Invasion of the it's not a direct remake because it doesn't reproduce all the story from the original because it's not
it's just the core idea.
Yeah, the main idea. I think the director just saw the original. I was like, oh, that's a really good one. And he signed up to do a remake, and then he read the book, and the book is sort of different as well. And he's like, oh, I'll just take the general idea and sort of play with it or whatever.
Yeah.
And it is the same kind of thing where it's health officials in a small town. This time it's in San Francisco, I think.
Yeah, they're in the full city now.
Yeah, they're in a city, and they have this whole thing where it's like a mass hysteria is taking over, where people are starting to believe that their loved ones and their friends and all this stuff aren't who they are. There's someone else, or there's something else.
Weird.
They're acting a bit strange, and I don't blame them because your one's husband does act very, very strange.
Yeah, he's a fucking robot.
Yeah, he's a pure robot. Like, but yeah, there's a callback as well because the end of, as we were saying last week, the end of the original in 1950 whatever, obviously it ends where he runs, what's his name, Dr. Miles runs back into the neighboring town and he tells the cops, and they're like, we'll get the FBI on the phone, don't you worry about this, alright Miles, go back to bed, and everything's sorted out. But obviously that was added in by the studio just to sort of give it a more
upbeat.
An upbeat ending. The ending I think in the book and the original ending of the original film is that he's running towards the next town and he's caught in traffic, and he's going, you're next. He's like all crazy, like psychotic. He's like, you're next. They're already here. You're next. It's over. And the actual actor, the actor from the original shows up in this and is doing that in the middle of traffic, and that's our first hint that something is like really wrong.
Yeah.
And that is because it's already the actor. what's her name, Brooke Adams from Days of Heaven.
Mm-hmm.
She's in this.
I knew because
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
watching. I was like, I've seen her recently,
Yeah,
and then I looked
She's
her up.
such
And
a
I was like,
distinctive face.
Days of Heaven. That's how I knew her.
Yeah. She's in this.
Cool thing that she does with her eyes as well.
Yeah, I was trying to do that for ages after she did it. I was like,
I don't know
how did she do that?
I don't know how you do that.
Yeah, but yeah, because apparently that was the thing when they were making the film. He was the director. I can't remember the director's name, but he was saying that he wanted the actors to focus on human emotions to sort of contrast against like the pod people. So he wanted to like include all idiosyncrasies and like sort of like subtle little facial gestures and tics and stuff like that. And so we just asked him, what's the weirdest thing you can do with your face? And she did that. And he's like, we're putting that in the film.
It's like, that's fucking great.
That's great stuff. But yeah, she's the one. It's her, Brooke Adams' character, Donald Sutherland, and they're like they work for like the fucking CDC or whatever, or they're they're civil servants anyway, and they're working in public health
inspectors.
Yeah, they're health inspectors, and she starts to suspect that her husband is like, not who he is.
He's a bit weird.
And they've all these weird things going on. And they're at a party, and there's another woman there, and she's all hysterical. And she believes that her husband is also not who he claims to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so like you get like all these hints that there's something actually, there's something like something behind all these psychotic beliefs. And then Jeff Goldblum comes out of nowhere, and he's in this film.
Yeah, and he's like one of the main characters then.
Yeah, I was like, when was he? When is he in this film?
No idea.
But he's really good.
He's great. He's very,
amazing.
very good.
Yeah.
Is this before or after The Fly?
Oh, this is way before The Fly.
Yeah,
this
I was
is
thinking that.
8 years before The Fly.
I was thinking he's looking very young.
Yeah, he's only 25, I think it is. But yeah, he's very good in this. But yeah, and then you have that scene. It's Donald Sutherland and Brooke Adams driving through town, and they're on the way to some job or whatever. And this crazy guy, psychotic, his hair's all over the shop, and he's like, "You're next, you're next. They're already here." And he like jumps onto the windscreen. Donald Sutherland's like, "Fucking crazy! What the fuck is wrong with this guy?"
Fuck.
And she's like, "Oh, like I relate to that guy."
Yeah. And he's,
So-
but then he like gets up and he starts running, and then this fucking mass of people are just chasing after him.
Yeah. And they turn around the corner, and he's just dead. Like they
Yeah.
just got him. I thought that was a really cool callback. I thought that was sort of suggesting that this is a sequel, but
It's a great it is a great nod to the original film, because I'd heard that before, but I thought that was like the end of the film. But see, this right, part of the problem about this remake is that it is so iconic that I knew the ending of this film as soon before I knocked it on and I saw the main characters. Like, I've seen the end of this film before, because I've seen the fucking picture of him, like that fucking.
I was the same. I didn't know how this film was going to end.
Oh yeah,
But it made sense once it happened. But like, I'd seen that picture as well.
Yes.
But I never connected the dots, because like it was literally up to like 10 minutes beforehand, 10 minutes before the end, and it's like the sort of final showdown takes place at night in like a big warehouse. I was like, when's that screenshot going to come into play? That's during the day.
Yeah.
And then obviously
it's literally the last shot of the film.
The last shot of the film, yeah. And then it cuts, and so there's no music. It's just credits playing.
Yeah.
It's like ominous.
It's
fucking ominous.
It's an extremely bleak film, but also has, similar to the Blob, some great fucking special effects as well. Like the body in the fucking like bathhouse or something. Whatever.
Yeah, the massage parlor.
Is the fourth, like, so you got Jeff Goldblum and his wife. She's the one from Alien. She's one of the characters in Alien.
Is she?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she is. I recognize her so much. Like, I'm pretty sure. I don't fucking.
She looks Irish. I don't know why, but she looked really Irish to me.
I'm gonna look over now. I am fairly certain that she's the one from Alien.
Yeah.
She's one of the crew members. Just look up Alien. Yes, Veronica Cartwright, and yes, she is. She's also in The Birds, Speed, and Scary Movie 2.
What a CV.
Yeah.
Well, except for the last bit.
Yeah, but yeah, she's in The Birds as well. Yeah, she's
in The Birds. How's she in The Birds?
I don't know. She must be
really young.
She must be young in the Birds.
I suppose that's only 16 years before this, isn't it?
Yeah, so she probably. She was in her. Born 1949, 63.
She's like a teen, yeah.
Yeah, so she must have been like, she's a teenage in it. But like that body, that's the Jeff Goldblum double
Mm.
is fucking freaky looking.
Yeah, because it's covered in like these white pubes that are like part of the pod, and I think it's Jeff Goldblum and his wife, and they run this massage parlor, and they're closing up, and Jeff Goldblum goes for like a nap, and his wife comes back into like one of the little curtain rooms they have, and it's just a full body double of Jeff Goldblum, like also sleeping, but like covered in like these white pubes.
Covered in sperm.
Yeah, just what happened here. Happy endings. Like.
Yeah, fucking wet dream.
Yeah. But she goes over and he opens his eyes or something.
Yeah, he opens his eyes and then
Yeah,
he bleeds, and then his nose bleeds later on.
Yeah. So he's alive. He's starting to come alive as Jeff Goldblum, the real Jeff Goldblum. Well, not the real one, but the character Jeff Goldblum is playing is sort of having his life force drained from him.
Mm.
So like that's sort of, because it was more sort of explicitly explained in the other one, like the whole relationship between sleep.
I had no idea what was going on for a while. I was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Because like even like Jeff Goldblum had all this white shit on his face when he came out. I was like, why? Well, I was like, what the fuck? Why does he have this like like white flakes on his face or whatever it was? I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, it was just something to do with the transition process for the pod people. But yeah, and the other one, in the original it's just explained. It's like, yeah, don't fall asleep because that's how they get you. And this one, it's like they don't seem to realize at any point, or they don't say it anyway. They're trying to be all subtle and stuff. Because it's a really modern remake in that sense. Because they really tried to update it, and they worked with the original director and the original actor, like your man, who's the crazy person in the sort of reference scene. They worked with them all the way through, like working on like the weaknesses and how it could be adapted, how the theme and like the sort of general concept could be adapted to a more modern kind of iteration of it. I think the whole idea of it being in a city and being kind of like a pandemic or an epidemic scenario was also part of that kind of modern concept. Yeah,
because I've heard before that, like, what does the original version of the Body Snatchers say about the time that it came out? But the remake also does the same thing. Like the remake says something about modern America as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because they have a Leonard Nimoy's in this. Forgot to mention that. Yeah.
Man, I was convinced that he was a pod person from the fucking start.
Yeah, I think that's just the way he is. Yeah, this is like his first role outside of Star Trek. I'm pretty sure.
He's pretty good. He's a dickhead and everybody's great.
Yeah, he's a psychologist. And he's like, you're all hysterical. And Brooke Adams comes to him. Or Donald Sutherland. He's like, you have to see my psychologist, mate. And he brings Brooke Adams. And she's talking about how like she's paranoid and stuff like that. And he's like, oh, you're just hysterical. Yeah, no one is who they seem to be. Like, like we're all fucking aliens at heart and stuff like that. We're all alienated from each other. Like the family unit is falling apart. And like explicitly talks about kind of like these like pre-Reaganite kind of like doomer 70 vibes. He's like, oh, the family unit is falling apart. Society is collapsing at the lowest sort of common denominator. But yeah, he's just a pure kind of stooge, or he's like a useful idiot for the pod people at the end of the day.
Yeah.
He's not really a villain. But it's great to see him. I was like, I know that guy.
Yeah, Leonard Nimoy. What a fucking name as well.
Yeah, where did you get that name?
Why do people not talk about that enough? He's a fucking mental name.
Yeah.
Leonard Nimoy. Mad name. But yeah, the that sequence where I can't remember that. What's the main character's name or actor?
Donald Sutherland. When
Donald Sutherland is sleeping outside and the pod people are forming around him, I thought that was a dream sequence.
Yeah.
But then when he wakes up, real, I was like, oh shit, it's real. I was just like, what the fuck? Because it has such a dreamlike quality to it. But that is probably just because it is such a trippy surreal, trippy thing that is going on. Like your people are turning into plants are making these humans.
Yeah. Literally, the doubles are growing out of like little plants, like this invasive species of plants that like just seems to randomly like adapt the form of like people in the immediate vicinity or whatever. But the whole thing is it's an alien race. It's conspiracy by an alien civilization who float from planet to planet in like kind of a wind dispersal kind of thing.
We will be one.
Yeah, and they're all kind of a hive mind. Um, it's a quite a paranoid film, you know, especially at the end.
The ending's real grim.
The ending reminded me because I was watching it there today, and I was like, man, that's the Blob. It's the scene where Brooke Adams' character collapses and sort of folds in on herself.
Yes.
That's literally the exact same effect as the girl in the car from the Blob.
Yeah, no, because I watched the Blob and then I watched Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and I was like, oh, this is the second time I've seen a woman like disintegrate inwards in 2 days.
Just like fold in. But the effects are amazing though as well.
She like withers she withers away as well.
Yeah.
Like flakes away. It's such a cool effect. And then Brooke Adams just stands up like the fucking couple of feet ahead.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh God.
Yeah. Oh. She's like, it's grand. Don't worry about it. Come on.
Yeah. Enjoy the fun.
You know, enjoy the ride. Become one of the pod people.
Enjoy the hive orgy. Come on.
Yeah.
But it is such a fucking grim ending because you have that bit where like Catherine Hardwicke is like, because she survived way longer than I thought she was gonna survive.
She's the pure hero of this film at the end of the day. You know?
She cracks the code.
She out survives everyone else, and she manages to like blend in among the population of pod people, and then she finds
because if you don't show emotion, you can just blend in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and she finds Donald Sutherland walking around one day, and like we're led to assume through the way the film is like sort of like shot, the way it's edited. We're led to assume that Donald Sutherland's character has done the same thing, just sort of chosen to blend in. But then, what's her name? She meets him.
Catherine Hardwicke.
Catherine Hardwicke meets him. Or Jesus Christ. Veronica Cartwright. Jesus.
Fucking. I knew as soon as I said it, that's just not her name. Veronica Cartwright.
Veronica Cartwright. She sees... She sees him in like a public square. She walks over. She's like, "Whatever your name is, Donald, get over here." And she's like, "Oh, let's have a chat or whatever, you know." But then he turns around and he's like,
"Yeah,"
or whatever. He's like squealing. It's like a pig.
It's like,
that's the
noise that they make.
Yeah. He's just pointing at her, which is their like pod people language for like human. We must destroy.
The screams from the pod people are fucking awful.
Yeah, they're really weird, yeah. They're kind of off-putting.
They are.
In like a, I don't know, a kind of annoying way.
There's like a few bits in the film where I got this real like feral fear from it, or like there's a bit where like they're running down a tunnel and they're like being chased, whatever, and then they turn around and you just see like these mass people just sprinting towards them.
Tunnels.
Like my monkey brain was just like, run!
Yeah. Just run away from the computer screen.
It's fucking leg it. Like my monkey brain was just kicked in. It's like, Jesus, there's something really fucking horrific about that.
Yeah.
There's so many of them as well, just charging with these like like expressionless, emotionless faces running at them.
Yeah. That's the thing. Social horror, you know. It's about social control and stuff like that.
And the dog. The human-faced dog.
Yeah. That's how they get sold out.
Yeah, that thing pure pops out of nowhere.
Yeah, because they've discovered how to... This is like, like sort of halfway in, or like 2/3 of the way in, as like Brooke Adams and Donald Sutherland, and they've discovered that they just, you know, play cool, don't show any emotions, they can sort of get by. But then...
yeah, because Veronica tells them that.
Yeah, Veronica, she's like...
I don't know how she figured that out.
She's just a fucking soldier out there, you know? She doesn't get any of the credit. She's like, she's all the answers. She's like, guys, come on. But they figure out that this is the way to do it, the way to carry themselves. And then they walk outside and they immediately see a dog with a human face, and she's just like, what the fuck is that? And they get found out. They're like...
almost immediately.
Yeah.
To be fair, it is a dog with a human face. Like, I don't know how Veronica doesn't fucking freak out when she sees that as well.
Yeah, my God. Like, why is that? Why does he have a human face?
I have no idea.
Why did the pod person... are the pods taking dogs as well?
Yeah, because the dog was asleep with the homeless guy beside a pod.
Oh.
But I don't know where the dog got a human face from. I don't know where the fuck that came from.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the two together.
Yeah.
It was the homeless
Maybe.
guy's face merged with the dog. Maybe that's what it was.
That's gas.
I didn't take enough notice of the dogs.
This is like, that's a dog with
I was
human
like,
face.
Jesus.
It's a Jack Russell as well.
Yeah,
like,
it's
tiny.
It's fucking awful looking yoke.
Yeah.
Kill it with fire. Yeah, no, like it definitely holds up. Like it's still it's a fantastic remake
It's a great remake.
because it takes the core idea and expands upon it and goes different ways with it.
Absolutely. That's what you want.
Which is like the key thing to every remake that's actually good. Like we talk about the Halloween remakes. It took a core idea from the original films, which was like, ooh, what about Michael Myers' backstory? That's stupid. Don't fucking touch that. That's a bad core idea. But the Blob is just like, what if we remake the Blob, but just give it really great special effects and we can show how horrible that is? That's a good idea. And then Invasion of the Body Snatchers is just an inherently good idea that will always work, I feel.
Yeah, you can always apply that to different situations.
Like, even if it's done poorly, I feel like it's a creepy enough idea to work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like iconic, like without being. It just doesn't need to be great because the general concept is so like, sort of like easily perceptible. It's applied to anything. Plus, talking about Halloween, like Halloween was the same. The recent remake / sequel kind of thing.
/ reboot /
yeah. Like that was the best one for like a long time anyway, and or probably since the original, I'd say. But that brought John Carpenter, the original director, on board. Like he was executive producer throughout the entire process, which was the same as this one did, Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
I'm pretty sure the same thing with the Blob as well.
Yeah. So they brought the guys on. Sometimes it's as simple as bringing the guy who did it before and like asking, "Oh, what should we do now?" And he's like, obviously the first thing they're going to say is, "Don't just copy what I did. Like, do something
different.
Do something new." Yeah. Like what would they have done if they had like more resources or whatever? You know.
And let's like studio control as well, seemingly. Because in the 50s, like the studio system, surprisingly, like, in the 70s and 80s, the studios didn't really seem to give a shit about like how your film really ended. Like,
yeah, apparently the ending of this one with Donald Sutherland like turning out to be a pod person and screaming, and like then it just cuts and there's credits with no music. I was like, that's so creepy.
Yeah, it is creepy as fuck.
But that was a completely sort of ad-libbed kind of thing. Or it wasn't ad-libbed. Like they asked the original director, like, how should we end this? And he's like, the way I wanted to end it originally. And apparently even your one, Veronica Cartwright, didn't know that Donald Sutherland was going to do that.
Yeah, that's so cool.
At the take. So he just turned around and she's like, what the fuck is he? Is he alright,
that's cool.
But the producers didn't know until they showed, they'd finished the film and put it together and done an edit. And they're doing a showing at George Lucas's gaff. And the producers were all there. But George Lucas was also there, and like all the other sort of new Hollywood heavies. And they had that ending in there. And obviously the producers were probably like, oh, fuck's sake. But they couldn't say anything because they're surrounded by like Coppola and like Lucas and all the boys, And
the boys are like, this is great.
This is staying in. Yeah, you can't change that.
It's such a fucking... Like, I would love to have seen this without knowing the end at all.
I didn't. Yeah.
I wish I never saw, because as soon as you see the image, the annoying thing is, right, when I was looking up trying to see Invasion of the Body Snatchers last week when you were talking about it, and I went onto Google Images to like look at the poster for the original film, literally the fucking top result is the fucking final shot of this film.
Yeah.
Like if you want to see anything about Invasion of the Body Snatchers, you're gonna see that image.
Absolutely,
and it's a bit fucking annoying.
To be fair, I thought that was just like in the middle of the film. I thought that was like, I didn't think that was the ending shot. But I'd seen the original, so like I knew what was going to be. But yeah, it is a good twist though.
Yeah,
that's a good twist to have.
It's very fucking bleak. Like I said that earlier, but Jesus, it's a fucking bleak ending.
Bleak City.
Yeah, bleak city all day. There was odds of bleak. Getting fucking mutilated.
Absolutely butchered.
Getting butchered. With the most recent remake on our scrounge through the remake universe. The Evil Dead remake 2013.
Yes. I also watched this as part of our remake series.
Yes.
Yeah, this is my first Evil Dead film. This is my Evil Dead virginity taken.
You never seen?
I've never seen the original. No.
I did not know that. Oh shit!
But I've seen this now.
You've seen this now.
But this is really good.
This is really, really, really good.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be shit. You know, remake of a classic 80s or 90s horror film.
80s, yeah.
Yeah, 80s horror film. 2013. You know.
2013. You're like,
you know how you can vibe it. It's like that's a bad year for films. I was like, remake 2013. I was like, this is gonna be shit, isn't it? And I got about half an hour in. I was like, I came to accept this isn't shit. Like this is just gonna stay good.
This is a very good film.
Yeah.
Because I finished the Evil Dead trilogy because I'd seen the first one years ago, and I enjoyed it. And I saw the second one. The second one I preferred the second one to the original, just because the second one is just batshit insane. The Evil Dead series is really fucking weird because the sequel, Evil Dead 2, is basically a remake of the first film.
How?
When you
have to watch them.
You have to watch them.
Yeah.
It's the same thing again, but weirder, and like it's just a fucking weird franchise. And then there's Army of Darkness, which is completely different but similar in certain ways. But the Evil Dead 2013 remake, I was like, I watched this years ago when it first came out. I watched it on a shitty fucking stream with my mates in the gaff. Like it was on like 240p. You couldn't really see what was going on at all.
Half the film was like pitch black as well.
And I hadn't seen any of the Evil Dead films beforehand, so like I just didn't know. All I knew was it was gory and it was violent. That's all that I knew. But then when I watched it with my mates, couldn't even fucking see the gore because it's such shitty quality. But watching it now, it does like the core concept, which is a possession movie in a cabin, and just because like the original Evil Dead films are real goofy, like they're gory but they're real goofy, like when Ash has to like cut off his arm, which happens in this movie as well. When Ash in the original film has to cut off his arm, he's like laughing and like hacking away at it because he's like, you like that, you look, because his hand is like being infected, and like his hand has like voices and it's like going like it's like throwing him around, like trying to choke him and stuff like that. Like it's real slapstick, and he's like, you like that, you little bastard, like cutting it off, whatever. This film, that doesn't happen. This film,
it's very dark.
This film is fucking gory. I think this is the goriest American film I've seen.
Yeah, this is by far the goriest film I've ever seen. Like, out of anything. By far. Like, I've never seen...
fucked up.
But, like, I wouldn't be... You'd be, an aficionado of the gore genre. You know, you've seen a lot of stuff like that. But, yeah, this is, like, amputations and stuff like that. And, like, there's a lot of amputation. A lot of blood. And needles.
Rains blood at one stage.
Yeah, it rains blood. It rains, and there's chainsaws. But, like, it's so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
You know? It's so much fun to, like... I don't know why. Because it's horrifying at the same time. But it's not really funny either.
No, it's not funny at all. It's just a...
It's a horror film.
It's a great horror film.
Yeah.
And even, like, with Invasion of the Body Snatchers, you were talking about, like, the nod to the original film. Like, this remake does all the nods to the original film and does it, like perfectly. Like, the You're All Gonna Die Tonight, which is, like, from the original film, is done perfectly in this film.
Yeah.
There's the original film, and this is something that's not cool. I was gonna say it's a cool thing. It's not cool. In the original film, there's like basically a tree like rapes a woman, and that's how she gets the demon inside of her. And Sam Raimi wishes that he didn't do that. He said like years later, he's like, it's gratuitous and it's not needed.
Yeah.
So it's not. I can't remember, but I don't think it's really in the Evil Dead sequel, like basically the remake of the film. But in this one, like they do it, but like it's not like a rape scene. It's just possessing her, and you're like, oh, that's fucking gross. Like you can see it
goes up her leg,
and then it's just just like gross.
Yeah.
And then violence ensues.
There's a serious amount of violence. Yeah, it's so, it's just hopeless, you know?
Yeah.
But it's also at the same time, it's like, oh, this is gas. This is great fun to watch.
It's like cathartic.
Yeah. Well,
by the end of it, it's cathartic.
Yeah.
The ending is phenomenal. The ending is like one of the best endings to a horror film I've seen.
Yeah, the ending is like way less bleak.
Because
she's pure... like they have the ghost, you know, or whatever it is, the possessed thing.
Yeah, the demon, whatever it is.
Yeah, and overtakes Mia, is it?
Yeah, Mia, that's her name.
That's his, and she's the sister of the main lad. And like in a conventional film, you're like, oh, he's gonna be the hero or whatever.
He's the Ash in this movie. Like,
okay, yeah.
he would be because he's even wearing like the blue shirt, which Ash wears in the original films.
Does Ash die in the original?
No, Ash lives the entire way through.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But like you assume that he's gonna be the Ash character.
Yeah.
But he gets his shit wrecked.
Yeah, he gets fucked up. He almost gets there, to be fair, but then he gets fucked up at the end. And then he has like the nerdy kind of like bookworm guy with glasses, Eric. Yeah.
Eric's a fucking idiot.
He's an idiot, but wait, why did he do that? What are you doing?
Why would you read that clearly haunted book?
Yeah. You find a haunted book, it's made out of skin. You know, you don't go reading from it and all that stuff.
It's got barbed wire all over it.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man. What are you doing? You're in like a fucking haunted cabin and stuff like that.
The cabin made no. I don't understand. Like, there's like photos of the family or whatever, like around the cabin. And there's a bit where like,
is that their family cabin? Yeah.
But like all that shit underneath, like the stuff that happens at the
star,
the like the prologue to the film.
Yeah. What's that about?
What the fuck? Whose cabin is this? I have no idea.
It's just a rental.
Yeah, it's just a bit Airbnb.
They just rented out to a few Satanists there a few years ago. It all went wrong from there.
Because the start of the film, the prologue is very good as well. Because it's like, oh, this is fucked up. They're gonna murder this poor girl, whatever. Yeah. But then, like, it's like,
turns out she's pure evil.
She's pure evil.
Yeah. The way they kept doing that, because obviously there's the ghost running, and she's like an evil kind of demon thing, and she's pure evil, and you hate her and stuff. But then whenever she's possessing the people, they keep doing that thing where they start like return to their normal voices, and they're like, why are you hurting me and all? I was like, oh, stop.
Oh yeah, no.
I was like, stop. You know,
it's really effective.
It's really disturbing, like so disturbing.
It's like, Eric, please don't do this. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
please help me.
It's so simple, but like so effective.
Yeah, because like, oh jeez, what would you do in that situation? Like,
what would you do? Even though it's like so obvious, just kill her. Like,
yeah,
it's like
take her out
because she possesses your man. What's his name?
Eric.
Yeah.
Eric's the guy with the glasses.
Yeah, who's the main guy?
I've no idea.
Yeah,
Chad.
Chad. She possesses Mia anyway. And she ends up possessing Eric and Chad's mate as well.
Yeah,
Chad's girlfriend.
Yeah, the nurse. Oh yeah, I think the ghost ends up like, or the demon like it possesses all of them at one stage.
Is it? Yeah. Does she get Chad?
No, Chad's the only one that stays.
Chad survives.
Stays grand.
But then he gets killed.
Yeah, he gets fucking mauled.
Yeah. But it's like, it's so effective because like, I don't know, because they're all clearly kind of, you know, they're related to each other. They're either friends or like, you know, in a relationship, or they're like directly related to each other, and they have to kill each other, which is like, you know, a common conceit in a horror film, I suppose, or it's a pretty simple kind of thing to think about, but like it's done so well, where they keep doing that thing where it's like, oh, why are you hurting me and stuff, and it's like, you're literally
psychological.
Yeah, psychological horror. Like, it's so much gore in the film. There's like chainsaws and blood and like amputations, but like there's this huge psychological element to it, and like a social element to it. It's like, wow, what would you do? Like, like what does this mean? You know, it's like, oh, it's almost worse.
Yeah, I know. I agree. And even the fact that like the demon gets them to like mutilate themselves as well.
Yeah.
Like that bit where she's in the shower and it's just like
cuts off her cheek.
Oh, fucking hell. That was awful. Because she walks out before she's been possessed, and she looks at a book, and the book shows like what's going to happen. Because the book like shows what the demon will do to like eventually like unleash itself to become like its like human form or whatever, to like take physical form in the human world. And one character like walks out and looks at the book, and it's just like it's a human, and they're just holding a face, and you're like, oh, she's gonna skin someone. But then it turns out to be like, in the picture, it's the person is holding their own face, and then Eric like walks into the room, and you can just hear,
yeah,
and she just turns around, and fucking half of her cheek is missing, and it's like, oh, like she doesn't. It's super gory, and you're grossed out by it, but because it's the demon doing it,
yeah,
it's like it's not like if she was human and it was being inflicted onto her. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's less disturbing because of that, but it's still gory and gruesome as fuck.
It's still fucked up because the special effects are so good.
Yeah.
You know, it looks like a crime scene. It
Yes.
looks like real, you know. And then your man Eric walks in and he's like, "What the fuck is this?" And he steps back and he slips on her cheek. And he falls back and slams his head on the bathroom tiles. Like, I was like, "Oh man, Eric." And then there's the worst scene for me. She gets on top of him, she's straddling him, and she stabs him loads of times. And for some reason, like, this guy's a fucking tank. Like, he gets stabbed
Man.
like 100 times.
Man, Eric gets the shit kicked out of him in this
by
film.
everyone.
Like, every demon like that possesses someone kicks the shit out of him at some stage.
Goes straight for him first. Yeah. And
to be fair, he's the one that summoned the fucking demon, so
yeah, I suppose, yeah. And she stabs him loads of times with like a tile or something like that, or like part of the
mirror.
Yeah, the mirror. And then she grabs a needle.
Yeah, because she's gone off to get an EpiPen for
Yeah.
Mia, because she's like, she needs to be sedated.
Yeah. And she has a needle, and she starts stabbing him in the face with the needle.
It's like
And I was like, oh my god.
it's cracking his fucking glasses.
Yeah. Oh my god. Like, I was literally like, I couldn't watch it.
Yeah.
I had to turn away. I was like, I can't watch this. This is just tearing me apart inside. But it was so grim. But eventually he gets her off anyway, and he survives. But he has to pull the needle's broken off in his like eye socket, and he has to pull it out. And I was like,
Oh,
and it's not cheap gore, like it's so tactile, like
Yeah.
his skin pulls apart when he's doing it.
Yeah, he proper pinches his eyelid and like pulls it out, and
Yeah.
like the skin comes with the fucking needle.
Yeah.
Oh
My
man.
god, that was the worst part for me. But like
Everything else in the film is grand except for that, really.
Yeah. Everything, you could do anything in the film past that, and like I'd be like, that's fine, you know, like flaying or whatever, you know, that's grand.
Whatever. It's not eyes, bro.
Yeah, it's not the eyes.
And there's no fingernail shit in this film, which I appreciate.
Yeah, fingernail shit. Oh my god.
But yeah, even like, because then you have the girl, because you have like Chad's girlfriend who
I
got
love how we just call him Chad.
just Chad, just a jock
All
character.
These faceless jock characters. Yeah.
She gets bit by Mia, and then her hand starts to get infected, and she has to fucking pick up the electric knife and just fucking saw her arm off, and like you're like, oh, it's awful, but then she hits the bone, and there's like a noise,
Yeah.
and you're just like, oh fuck. That's the bit though where like she has to, because she's not even fully demified yet, and she's trying to stop the demon taking her over. Doesn't work in the end, but
It's not gonna happen, like, you know.
that bit was fucked up.
Yeah, that was fucked. But at the same time, it had to be done.
Yeah,
You know, you'd be like, if you're in that situation, I'd probably be like, fuck it,
yeah.
take me. I'm not gonna do that, you know. I'm not gonna chop my arm off.
Fuck this.
Fuck that. But like, you know, that made sense. And then they come in, and they find her, and there's a big pool of blood, and they look over, and she's like standing by the fridge, and she's like, oh, I had to do it. And she turns around, and her arm is still attached, and it's just hanging on by like the ligaments, and then it falls off onto the floor. But like, she's still her, and she's like, oh my god, like, I can't believe I've done this.
She's not even demon yet. She's like, oh, I had to do it,
Yeah.
and she's fucked up from it.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then I don't know at what point, but the nail gun comes into it then.
No, the nail gun. Yeah, she comes out of nowhere with a nail gun. You know?
Because it's introduced earlier on in the film where like your man, like Chad, is there like sticking something up, and he's like, tsh, tsh, like
Yeah, he's
stapling
nailing
things
the
up.
floor. Sure,
And you're
yeah.
like, oh, that's gonna come into it.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, she goes ham at poor Eric, man.
Eric, man.
Eric, he gets fucked up.
He's like puts his hand up to save his face,
and you see it going through his arm.
oh fucking hell.
Yeah, he gets fucked.
Man, he's the one as well where like at some point, maybe it's Mia or it's that girl as well. I think it is that girl. She gets a fucking crowbar and she starts like wailing on him.
Yeah.
And then he sticks up his hand and it splits down the fucking like in between his fingers into
Yeah.
like the Jesus, man. Eric got fucked up.
I actually skipped that part because I was like, because she's wailing on Chad. Because this is after the nail gun, I think, is gone. But then she's about to just execute Chad. But then fucking Eric comes out with he's somehow got hold of the nail gun. He starts shooting at her, so she turns around and she gets the crowbar. And just the way they looked at each other, I was like, skip 30 seconds ahead.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not watching that. And then when it came back, Eric was just fucked up. He's like,
Man, because He like tries to defend it because it goes on for a while. Like he tries to defend himself, and his hand has been split in half, and she's just wailing on his head.
Yeah.
And then Chad picks up a shotgun and just blows the back of her head out.
Yeah.
But Jesus, like the fucking Eric gets fucked up in this film.
Poor guy. Like.
Poor guy, and then he blows up at the end.
Yeah, poor guy. Like,
Because I like the way that like the demon has to kill. There's 5 people there. There's 3 girls and 2 boys, and the demon has to kill 5 of them to like fully form. But Mia ends up being suffocated or buried alive, and then Chad brings her back to life.
Yeah, how does that work?
Because he's like she's dead. So the demon leaves her body then because she's dead, but I can resuscitate her.
Ah. Yeah.
And that's how she doesn't have the demon then, and then she takes on the fucking demon then.
Yeah, because he revives Mia, and so he runs back into. He's like, oh fuck, great to have you back. He runs back into the gaff to get the car keys. Door slams shut. He's like, fuck's sake, it's over, you know.
Yeah,
like
Eric.
Eric's back. Zombie Eric is back, and he's got like a nail gun and stuff. And it doesn't end well. Or no, he just gets stabbed in the neck, doesn't he? With like a screwdriver. Or
He gets stabbed in the neck with a screwdriver, and
it's fucking
champions his way over to like, just throw me out of the fucking cabin, like slam the door, and he blows up the cabin somehow. I can't remember how.
Yeah, the cabin blows up. Yeah,
It's like a gas canister or something. He just shoots it.
He shoots the gas canister. Yeah, classic move.
Pure
out of Call of Duty, like
pure the red barrel.
Yeah, red barrel job.
But
yeah, and then it's just Mia left, which is like cool because that's like the opposite of what I expected.
Yeah, because she's the first one to be possessed.
Yeah,
so you think, oh, she's fucked.
Yeah, she's fucked. Chad's gonna save the day, and like, or maybe Chad will get out and his girlfriend or whatever. It turns out everyone gets fucked up except for Mia somehow, which is kind of like counterintuitive. So the demon has now taken her 5 souls, and Mia has to take on the demon.
Demon's strong as well.
She's Jesus, yeah, she's some weapon. Like, I thought the film was gonna cut when her arms. Because it starts pouring blood rain, which is part of the prophecy, and then an arm shoots up. There's a really iconic image of the arm shooting up out of the ground, which I think is obviously in the original, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. And then I
think it is.
I thought it was going to cut there. Like,
yeah,
I was like, that would have been a good ending.
Man, it's like 10 more minutes left.
10 more minutes of an amazing fight. To be fair,
yeah,
left, yeah. And the fight was fucking class. Like.
The fight is class, and like it's a struggle as well that I enjoy. And like,
yeah, the arm though.
The arm, yeah, she also has to fucking cut off her arm because
in the middle
that's
of the
the
fight.
thing. That's the thing as well. Actually, I'm only copping this now because in the original film, his hand is possessed, so he has to cut off the arm. So you assume that like, oh, that's the callback there because your one earlier on in the film is cut off her arm, but then it turns out that Mia is actually our Ash character, so she has to cut off her arm as well.
Yeah, she's way more like gung ho about it. She's like, "Fuck this." She's literally like, "Fuck this." I'm done with this. Like,
yeah, she's like, I'm not fucking dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't even. She pulls her arm off.
She pulls it off. Yeah, she's like,
because the fucking truck had fallen on it.
Yeah, the truck has fallen on her arm, and you can see like the thing come apart. Like, it's really great special effects, like the ligaments and like the muscles just like pulling apart. She's like, "Fuck this!" She just like reefs her arm off. It's like, oh, Jesus.
And then she fucks up the demon.
She grabs a chainsaw and fucking bisects the demon. It's like, what is this? Because the demon goes, "I will feast on your soul."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Fuck you," or something.
Feast on this.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good.
And such a great shot for just chainsawing with one arm, chainsawing the demon, and in the background it's rain and blood, and the houses and the gaff is on fire. Like, it's such a good fucking shot.
So good. I never got the appeal of like mad gore, like until like something like that. Like that's it reminds me of like Mandy or something.
Yes.
Like that kind of like really over the top, just like fun, but also horrifying at the same time.
It is because this film is a lot of fun. It's also like cringe inducing, like you're wincing at some parts of it.
Yeah.
But that's part of it, I guess. Part of the fun.
Part of the fun, absolutely.
But this film even has like, because in the original films, you're like, when the demon like takes form of someone, straight away. You're just like, why the fuck would you not leave? But this film gives justification as to the reason why they don't leave immediately. And that's because Mia is a drug addict, and like, she needs to cold turkey. She's gonna do whatever she can to get out of this. So when she is possessed, they're just like, she's just fucking detoxing. Like, that's what's wrong with her.
Yeah, she kills a dog.
The dog, man.
That's fucked up.
My grandpa was the name of the dog.
Yeah, I'd be like,
bludgeon him with the hammer.
Detox or no detox, get the fuck out.
Get the fuck. Well, that's what happened, because he's like, Chad is like, finds the dog, and he's like, where the fuck is Mia? And he like charges in, and Mia's in the fucking shower scalding herself.
Yeah, and her skin's popping and stuff like that. Ugh.
But that I found there's definitely a thing in the film about like how we treat, you know, addicts, and like how everyone in the film is just like, Mia's a fucking addict. Like, we know what's best for her. We know she has to stay here and cold turkey. Mia's like, there's something seriously fucking wrong here. We need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, man, there's a demon ghost possessing everyone.
Yeah.
It's not just about drugs. But they do try to kick her out though, don't they? But the road's flooded.
They try, no, at that stage, it's when Mia is scalded herself. They're like, we need to get the fuck out.
Right.
We need to get her to a hospital. Like, this isn't detox shit. There's something really wrong.
Yeah.
But then the fucking thing is flooded. But beforehand, where she's just like, we need to, because she's like freaking out or whatever. But like, Eric has called the demon. And like, Mia knows, like,
it's called.
He's like calling them up, like, here, Beelzebub, rock up.
What's the crack?
And she sees the demon off in the distance, and she's like, there's something fucking wrong. We need to get out of here. But they're like, no, you junkie. We're gonna stay here, and you're gonna go through your shit, and you're gonna fucking sort this out. And Mia turns out to be fucking right. She's like, told you, especially you, Eric. I told you.
Yeah, Eric, man, you paid for that.
Yeah, Eric paid for it, for calling that demon. Jesus, it's a great remake though.
That's great. Yeah. It was well worth a watch. Like,
the guy that did that film, Don't Breathe, as well.
Yeah. I saw them making a sequel to this. Or they're making a sequel in general to Evil Dead with the collaboration of Bruce Campbell, is that his name?
Yes.
And Sam Raimi, like, as a sequel to this, but also part of the franchise. An Irish director's doing it, Lee Cronin.
Oh yeah! Oh my god! Yeah, remember we were talking about this before in the podcast.
I
don't know. My barber knows that guy's brother.
Really?
Yep.
Oh shit! You get us in then.
Yeah, get us in.
Us VIP tickets.
Yeah, I think they're shooting that now.
Oh really? Yeah.
I think they're shooting in Australia or something like that.
That's class.
One
of our own.
Yeah, one of your own. Yeah, an Irish director's doing it. The guy, he did
Hole in the Ground.
Yes,
I was looking at there.
The Hole in the Ground.
I haven't seen it, but very good reviews.
I think that's on Netflix.
Is it?
Or it was on Netflix anyway.
I'll have to give it a look.
Yeah, no, that would be good. I'm looking forward to that. I always forget that Sam Raimi's still making movies as well. You know, it's not like John Carpenter or like Cronenberg and stuff like that. Where
they're like, they're producing films. Cronenberg has a film coming out. To be fair.
Does he?
Yeah, he does.
Well, Cronenberg doesn't make good movies anymore. At least Sam Raimi still makes good movies.
True. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm because Evil Dead's a very strange franchise, because you have that Ash versus Evil Dead, which is a TV show.
Yeah, on Netflix, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or one of them.
It is on Netflix as well.
Yeah. What is that?
No idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
It doesn't sound like a great idea.
Apparently, if you enjoyed this series, you'd enjoy that, apparently.
Oh, really?
It's just more of the same stuff. But I don't think Sam Raimi's maybe producer on or something like that.
Yeah.
But he's not like...
His next film is Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Sequel.
Yeah, the Doctor Strange sequel, yeah. That's weird. I'm interested to see that.
I'm interested to see that, yeah. I've never seen the original Doctor Strange, though.
Neither. I haven't seen that either. But, like, you know, he did the Spider-Man trilogy. He gave us Spider-Man 2. So...
Yeah, he gave us Spider-Man 2.
He can obviously make a good superhero movie.
Exactly, yeah. He knows what he's doing. He better not have any... And plus, he's a big-time producer. So surely he doesn't have fucking some Kevin Feige or whatever. Oh, you can't do that. You can't do that. You have to... Someone else has to shoot the action scenes or whatever, you know.
Yeah, a lot of bullshit.
A lot of bullshit. Fuck you, Kevin. Leave him alone. Leave Sam alone.
Leave Raimi alone.
Yeah, leave him do his thing.
It'd be good. I say that would be interesting. At the very least, it'll be interesting.
Absolutely. 2022 can't come soon enough.
Shit, we're in our 9th month now, so we're actually nearly there. Fucking hell.
Nearly there, man.
This month is pure flew by.
Yeah, September.
See that Mad Max got delayed?
Who?
Mad Max.
Oh, did it? Again?
Yeah, I think it's I think I read something. The headline said 2024, which I'm like, oh, that's ages away. That is only 3 years away. To be fair,
Yeah, that's less than 3 years away now.
would George Miller still be alive at that stage?
Ah, yeah.
What's his name? George Miller.
Yeah, George
Yeah.
Miller, yeah.
Hopefully he's still alive. He looked old in the
Man,
photo they showed.
Look at the cast. Anya Taylor-Joy,
Yeah.
Tom Hardy, Chris Hemsworth, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II.
Wait, hold on a second. Anna Taylor-Joy's in it, but this is the Furiosa one, isn't it?
I think she is Furiosa.
Why would you not get Charlize Theron again?
I think it's a younger Furiosa.
But why would Tom Hardy be in it?
I don't know, because he's immortal,
Yeah, I guess.
you know.
He's got to be in it somehow.
Yeah, he's got to be in it. Yeah, they can't have a third Mad Max, you know. Like a third character.
Yeah, that's just take the piss. Or just don't have him in
Just
it.
get Mel Gibson. Yeah, just don't have him in
Just
it.
have Furiosa.
Or have a multiverse Mad Max.
Whoa,
Mel Gibson.
You know that happens in Space Jam 2.
What?
Do you know about Space Jam 2?
No.
There's a bit where it's like an Avengers Assemble bit where like we need to go across to the different worlds, all the different Warner Brothers products to like get our characters. So they have to go to Mad Max Fury Road to get Wile E. Coyote.
What?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yes.
That's sacrilege.
Yeah, no man.
Yeah. What? Like, who agreed to that? Like, we're making this really shit film. Can we put your really good film in it?
It's because it's literally an advertisement for Warner Brothers products.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Because in the background there's the nuns from the Devils.
What?
In the background, yeah.
Nah.
Yep.
From the Devils.
From the Devils.
Why would they have an advert for the Devils in Space Jam 2?
And
It's just there, they're going like with the cross.
they're just
like,
fucking
the cross.
and then they even Clockwork Orange.
I seen that.
They're in it as well.
The Droogs, yeah.
The Droogs. Yeah, no. Rick and Morty are in it as well.
That is cancer.
Yeah.
That is pure cancer. That is
Oh
the
my
worst.
God.
That's ruined my week. That's the worst.
Knowing
thing I've
that
heard.
exists.
Yeah. My God.
Fucking
Did
hell.
that bomb?
I feel like I had to have, but I
feel
don't
like
know.
It did. I haven't heard anything about it. So.
I hope it did. It deserved to. With shit like that.
That is just shocking stuff.
Rick and Morty in the same film as fucking Tasmanian Devil. That's why.
Mad
That's how it
Max.
happens. Because they can't find. I watched the clip. It's like they can't find the Tasmanian Devil. So they're like in this spaceship or whatever the fuck they're in, and then Rick and Morty just come by and they just throw Taz down. It's like, yeah, we're doing our experiments on him. Whatever the fuck you do as a Rick character is like, oh jeez, Rick, we shouldn't have done that. Whatever fucking bullshit Morty comes out with, and then it's actually Justin Roiland and fucking.
Yeah, they're actually in it.
They're actually in it. Like it's Justin Roiland voice, and it's like, fuck this.
Sold out.
It's on YouTube. If you don't believe me, it's on YouTube. Look it up.
I'll have to watch that now. I'll have to see that. But like what is? Like, obviously, that was a note from a producer. They're like, oh, we can get this crazy idea, have all these different, different Warner Brothers IPs into this one kind of multiverse kind of thing.
Yeah.
But what's the crossover between Rick and Morty and Space Jam, you know?
It's owned by Warner Brothers.
Yeah, except, like...
It's the same thing as Ready Player One.
Ready Player One, that thing, I've never seen that thing, but it's probably the worst film ever made.
I'd imagine so.
It's probably everything wrong with,
Big Hollywood.
the world, yeah.
Everything is wrong. We go for a break.
Ah, yeah.
And we're back from the break once again. We should throw more music into this, as in just singing.
Singing, we should sing more, because we have beautiful voices. I'm kind of losing my voice at the moment, but still, we can do something,
Yeah, there's something to be done.
Yeah, harmonies. We need to look into
a
that.
musical podcast where you just sing your thoughts about films.
Yeah. Like a Shrek the musical, but for podcasts.
The Evil Dead remake was good.
Oh God!
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus.
Listeners down to zero.
Yeah, right
All
now.
of them completely.
Everyone's left.
Everyone's dropped out. Oh, we're
Whoops,
back.
We're back. Hold on. That wire.
Whoa, that was intense for a moment.
Gee, that was the same thing as with the fairies that one time.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they're onto us.
There, let's fix it now. So in the news,
The news section.
This is kind of old at this stage.
There's a lot of news. There was a lot of news this week. Well, not really. But there was a Matrix Resurrections trailer which came out on the weekend, I believe.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
I believe so too.
Huh?
I believe so too.
Yeah, I think it did.
I don't know when it came out.
But yeah, that's coming out December.
Yeah.
It's highly anticipated. Actually, I think it came out the day after we recorded the last one. Because remember we were talking about it. And then I was like, oh yeah, we're just talking about that the other night.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh well.
Oh well. Well, it's still huge. It's still big. It's still big. And we just watched it there. We had a look. First reactions.
Mm-hmm. Looks like a Matrix movie.
It looks a lot like a Matrix movie. They even said the title in
Yeah.
the film.
It's like, oh, you're gonna go back to the Matrix? Whoa!
Whoa!
And he says, like, after all this time,
What? That's a reference to the fact that they haven't made a film in 20 years.
mad how they can do that, isn't it?
It's like we're literally in the Matrix.
We're literally in the Matrix.
Yeah, I love how on the nose it is. It's
It has to be.
extremely on the nose.
Man, it has to be.
Even the way it opens, I can see you're really triggered. I feel like that's a shot. That's a shot at like the people, you know, the whole culture, because obviously it's indelibly tied up in culture war aspects of you know, the red pill and like how
has to, like, man,
it has to be.
It has to do that. Like, there's
That's so self-conscious. Like.
there's no fucking way that the Wachowski. Well, I think it's only Lana Wachowski. Is it Lana or is it Lily? It is. Lana Wachowski is the only Wachowski that's in there. Just because Lily's just doesn't. She doesn't
Couldn't be
seem like-
arsed.
Couldn't be arsed. But yeah, like you have to be conscious of the fact of like this is a post-Trump film.
Yeah.
Where we're all Trumpanites were like, oh, you're all fucking taking the blue pill, take the red pill, wake up.
Wake up, bro. It's an SJW film, bro. I'm not going to watch this. I'm boycotting this. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
That's going to happen. But, yeah, I hope they actually, because obviously the original film struck a huge chord with people. You know, across, not just with, like, weirdos, but, like, you know, in a general sense. It's like it's kind of like part of the vernacular now, you know, the Matrix, waking up, being woke. I'm pretty sure that's from the Matrix as well.
Probably, yeah.
You know, waking up, Neo, all that huge cultural impact. Hopefully it has the same kind of impact now, because obviously it can't do the same thing. It has to do something very, very different.
But it looks like it is.
Yeah, if it can do that, yeah, that'd be amazing. And it doesn't. It looks like it in some ways. It looks like the old ones, from what I know.
Yeah, from the trailer.
I've only
yeah.
seen I've only seen the first one anyway, but yeah, it's a lot of action though. A lot of action going on.
And the action looks cool.
Yeah, fucking helicopters and stuff, swerving bullets again.
Yeah, I can't wait.
You know, he's pouring the blue pills down the drain. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, let's go.
Let's fucking wake
Let's
up, Neo.
go. Yeah. And you got, what's his name? Abdul Mateen. Fuck's sake.
Yeah. Jesus, we're gonna butcher his name. Yeah. Abdul Mateen,
yeah. He's in it. And he's in everything these days. He's in Aquaman.
He's gonna play Morpheus.
He's playing Morpheus.
Yes.
So wait, is it? Are they going back in time?
I don't know what the fuck. Cause like,
he's playing more. That's a huge burden to take up, isn't it?
yeah, you're taking over Lawrence Fishburne. Character.
One of the most iconic. To be fair, one of the most iconic characters of like the last 50 years.
Oh Jesus, yeah.
Yeah. Probably more iconic than Neo. Like.
Yeah, probably, man. People love Morpheus.
Morpheus, he's huge. Like everyone knows Morpheus.
I wonder if Morpheus. I wonder if Morpheus will show up. I wonder if Lawrence Fishburne will show up at all.
Because I read that he wasn't doing it, but then I read a report afterwards that he was coming back and that everyone was coming back. And it does have obviously has Keanu and has what's her name, the girl.
Carrie Ann Moss.
Yeah, she's in it as well. So the main ones, you know.
All the crew.
Yeah, is Agent Smith back?
He's not on this cast list, so I wonder. I say he will. Yeah, you gotta get him to come back, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Oh wait, no, we got different ones. There's Agent. Just looking at the cast list, you've Daniel Bernhardt playing Agent Johnson.
Agent Johnson.
That dude. I've never seen that fella in anything. Do you recognize him in anything?
He looks like an AI sort of
yeah
recombination of various sort of Don Draper lookalikes or something like that, you know.
Well, he's in Matrix Reloaded, so
oh, is he?
I don't recognize him at all. He must have played an agent in the old films then. Just didn't recognize him. Yeah, sure. The fuck they're gonna get Hugo Weaving to return. You have to.
You have to like
you have to. He's one of the most iconic villains.
He's still alive, huh?
Hugo Weaving, yeah, he's still going. Jesus, I really hope he is. But yeah, because like resurrections, you know, Because the Mad Jesus allegory, obviously, to all of the Matrix, Trinity, and whatever. So yeah, resurrections. You know, reawakening, I guess.
Yeah, reawakening. You know, the Messiah is back.
Yeah, Neo, the one is back.
Mm.
But it has to be a plot element though, for the for the reason that Morpheus isn't back, or fucking why Lawrence Fishburne isn't back. Like there has to be a reason for that in the plot.
Yeah, they can't just ignore that.
Because he's the only one that's not there.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
surely there's a
it would be
plot
weird.
reason for it.
Yeah, because it never works out when they do that. Where they just kind of pretend, they kind of play it off, you know.
Yeah, Dark Knight and Batman Begins is very noticeable when.
Yeah, it's so noticeable. Like it plays it off, but that's only because like you have like Heath Ledger doing like
Yeah.
the heaviest lifting like anyone's done in a superhero film up to that point. But then you have like something like Mummy 3, the one with the fucking Yeti in it.
Yes.
I think that's out the same year, and Rachel Weisz didn't come back for it, and they got some Maria Bello or something in to take her place, but she was playing the same character. And I remember coming into cinema and the film started, and like they did a big an introductory shot for her, like she turns around, all dramatic and stuff. It's like, oh, this
Got up and left.
I was like, nah, this is just not it, you know. This just doesn't work at all. You know, sometimes it just doesn't work. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, they did the same thing. I was like, this doesn't work.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. But because Morpheus is so
Iconic.
much in the trailer, more so,
Yeah.
surely like there's gonna be plot reason for that. Even and Neo doesn't remember and Trinity doesn't remember. I really hope though that they don't spend too long with that shit.
With what?
With like Neo reawakening, because we've already had that in the fucking first film.
Yeah. Wait, why is he asleep again?
I think well, because in the sequels there's this whole thing about choice. Like, can you actually because it's talking about capitalism, is there actually choice within capitalism? Like when you try to, you know, have a like revolution, like have like the system morphs itself to accommodate and commodify your revolution and stuff like that. So I imagine that the film might deal with that, which is cool. Like if the film deals with that, like more, because I think in the second one, they like the architect of the Matrix is like, you're not the first, like the one. There's been multiple ones before, but the system has accommodated it for it afterwards and like readjusted to acclimatize to the fact, so that the system never changes. So I imagine that's something that the film,
if they go in that direction, I'll be day one. I'll be like, let me in.
Yeah,
I want to see that.
That's a very cool concept.
That'd be an amazing
to
concept.
tackle.
Yeah.
And you know, post Trump era, like it's gonna have to deal with that. I hope it's not.
I was not on the nose.
Mad on the nose about things. I just hope that it's not. I hope there's a little bit of subtlety to it, just a little bit.
Something
but then
a bit
again,
original, you know.
But then again, the original Matrix villain was called Reagan, so
yeah. The villain, this is just Donald Trump.
Yeah, he's just called Donald.
Sure.
Donald Trumpet is the main bad guy.
Yeah. My God.
I don't know. It looks cool.
Yeah, it does. It looks good.
And it's out this year. Like, that's mad. Matrix 4 is coming out this year.
Yeah, exactly. We've a lot to, you know, there's not much time left. There's only what, 3.5 months left in this year.
Yeah. Man, there's
so much
loads of films still to come out.
What's coming out soon?
The Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw. Matrix. Spider-Man.
Oh yeah. They're all at the end.
They're man. The worst thing is that they're all at the end of the year. They're all in like December.
So we're waiting 3 months, like.
Yeah. Well, next month we have Halloween Kills.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
Man, did you see on Netflix what's coming up on Netflix?
What?
The first 5 Halloween films except for Halloween 3.
Oh, so the 4th one's coming on?
Yeah, the Halloween 1, 2, 4, and 5.
That's grand. Halloween 3. Wait, what was Halloween 3 again?
That was the Season of the Witch one.
That's good though.
Yeah,
that's a great one.
I would like, but
that's a worth watch.
You can understand why they don't have that one on Netflix, because for the casual audience,
yeah, they're like,
it's
what's
even
this?
more confusing. I don't know if it's more confusing or less confusing if you don't add Halloween 3.
I think it's more confusing, but it's more interesting.
Mm.
Way more interesting, you know? Well, it's not way more interesting.
But
It's just better.
But in terms of like, for like a Netflix audience of like, oh, we should watch all the Halloween movies this Halloween for the new one that's coming out. Wait on a second. Why isn't the third Halloween there? And then you look it up and you're like, Season of the Witch, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, so maybe people are like, oh,
Mm.
they'll have a revival or something like
Mm.
that, maybe. I don't know. I doubt it.
I doubt it. There's very few people. Few people that give a shit about that.
No one's gonna care. No.
No.
But yeah, but people will do that. Like do a big. I think the fourth might have a rediscovery because the others are just fucking.
Is Halloween 4 good?
Oh wait, I was thinking the Texas Chainsaw.
Oh yeah. No.
I was completely. I always mix them up.
Yeah.
Halloween 4. Yeah, I don't even remember. That's H2O, isn't it?
No man, they're after. That's Halloween 6 or something.
Is it?
Yeah.
There's Halloween. There's Halloween 2, Halloween 3, Halloween 4.
Halloween 4. It's called The Return of Michael Myers.
Yeah. I don't even know.
Mm.
But I remember the masks all get really shit after a while.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
Or not. It's like as soon as like the fourth one comes in.
I'm gonna watch like, cause I'm not gonna watch Halloween 1 again. Like I don't need to do that. So I watch Halloween 2, and then I watch 4 and 5 this Halloween. Sounds grand.
Of course, we have to do that for Halloween. Yeah, for a Halloween episode.
Yeah.
Our second Halloween episode.
And then get ready for Halloween Kills.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, actually, remember we were talking about the burnt mask thing like a while back.
Yeah.
The not the trailer, the poster of Halloween Kills. His mask is like kind of melted and burnt onto his face a little bit. Not
Yeah.
ridiculous amount,
Yeah.
but we were right when we said that was gonna happen.
Yeah, you got that bang on. Yeah. Jeez, Halloween. That's not even far off.
I'm pretty sure as well the Halloween Kills is early in October. I don't even think it's late October.
Yeah, is it early
Yeah.
October? Yeah, it probably is.
Man, you know sorry, just because we were talking about Rob Zombie's Halloween. Do you know that film came out in September?
Yeah, Labor Day, weren't you saying?
What the fuck? Wait, we were talking about this last week, yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I think they just want to run up. Oh man, the reviews are in for Halloween Kills.
What they like? Is it bad?
No, we pinned our whole career on this.
Oh no.
No.
Oh shit.
Well, it could be worse. It's 1% off fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. So.
Oh no.
It could be worse.
Oh no.
But usually that only goes down, doesn't it? You know. It's out October 15th, so it's only a month away. Less than a month away.
Oh no.
That's so sad, though, isn't it? That's so sad.
I could kind of tell from the trailer as well.
Yeah, no, the trailer is a mess. It's a mess.
The trailer was not good.
Yeah. It's 47% on Metacritic.
I'm not surprised at all. That's such a shame. Oh well.
That's so grim. Well, what can you do?
Oh, well, can't wait for us to go see it. We should go see that film.
Oh yeah, we'll go Lighthouse. It'll be grand. We'll make a day of it.
Yeah, big whole buzz about it.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going locked. That way we'll enjoy it either way.
Yeah, you have to go through to that film. Yeah, no, yes, but there's still a bunch to come out this year. Hopefully, The Matrix 4 is actually good.
Hopefully, man. We still got Sopranos in a
We
week.
still have Sopranos as
1
well.
week.
Is that coming out next week? Is it?
Next week, yeah.
I don't have the. I am 2 episodes away from the final season of Sopranos.
I wouldn't say you'd need to even.
No, you definitely don't need to have watched it. You
Yeah, I
definitely
wouldn't
don't
say
need
so.
to have seen the Sopranos.
There's a bit there's a new trailer out that hints at stuff that happens right at the arse end of season 6, though. Like a big thing. There'd be hints and stuff, but obviously they wouldn't be talking about things that happen in the future.
Yeah, they're having
you know?
to spoil the fucking end of Sopranos.
It's like, hey, Tony, I can't believe you died.
Hey, Tony, you like this song? Don't stop believing.
Man. Oh, that'd be so funny. But yeah, no, that'd be good though. That would be good.
I'm sure it will be good. Come on, looking forward to it.
I can't wait.
We got the listener questions.
We will.
Do you want to plug the bits?
If you want to ask us a listener question, any feedback, anything you like, you can get to us at paro_pod on Instagram or on Twitter. Or you can email us at theparopod@gmail.com.
That's theparopod@gmail.com.
And Liam is asking us today, he's asking, what do you think is more important, a good director or a good script? Love it.
I hope that came up in the mic.
That was scripted.
Well, you always say the thing about the script, don't
The
you?
script is key.
Mm.
I think it's a blueprint. But you can do without both pretty much. Well, and actually no, you can't You can do without. Man, I don't know. Can you do without a good script?
No, I don't think so.
Well, something like
Yeah.
Climax. But at the same time, your film is almost certainly going to be shit if it doesn't have a good script.
Yeah. Well,
Whereas if you have a bad director, it's always going to be bad. You know.
Yeah, a good director can make a bad script. Like, yeah.
Can work without a script almost.
Yeah, can work without a script.
But a good script needs, or any script needs a good director. If you have a shit director, you're fucked.
I think, director is probably most important.
I suppose.
Which, I don't know, because, like a good director, I feel like, I'm trying to think of a, like, what's a film that has, like, a bad script but turned out to be a great film? Like, do we know any films like that? I can't just think of any of them, like...
I can't think of any.
Because I don't know shit about scripts. I don't know when a script is going to be good or bad or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But, like, I don't know. Who was that? The Harrison Ford saying that quote, wasn't it? What was that quote?
What?
That the bedrock of a good film is the script.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You need the foundation, you know. But like that's if you're making a film, like it's a collaborative project, I suppose it's more important to have a really good foundation there so that everyone can pitch in. Because like, you know, you can like interpret, because a script can like, you know, you can have the actors interpret it different ways, the director interpret it different ways, and you all come together. You know, I assume, I've never worked on a film, but
I assume that's how it works.
You bounce off different ideas. It's all a collaborative thing, so that should make it better. But if the only thing you have is a good director, or if you have a shit director, then it's not going to work at any point. You know, like it's just fucked. You could have the best script in the world, it's going to fuck it up anyway.
Yeah.
You know, like if you give like fucking, you know, Back to the Future, one of the best scripts ever written, just because of how technically good it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like no one involved in the film is like an all timer. You know, they're all very very good at their jobs, but like they're not like they're not in halls of fame. So I suppose they probably are, but like more for like being famous. Like they're not like Michael J. Fox isn't the best actor ever. Like Robert Zemeckis isn't the best director of all time. But the script is like so solid and it's like so watertight that like it just works.
Yeah, you could if you have a good script and you've decent like crew and shit around the film,
you can make a good film.
You can make a great film.
Whereas if you gave Back to the Future to fucking U-Ball or whatever, he's gonna fuck it up.
Yeah, he's gonna fuck
it up, you know? Or most people like.
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably because like there's so much to like making a good film, like editing, music. Like these are key things. Like if you have bad music in the scene, it's gonna pull someone right out of the scene. If you have bad editing, that's also gonna do a similar thing.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, editing is kind of looked down on, you know.
Editing is
kind of missed.
So fucking key to a film.
Yeah,
it's so important.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like because great editing is when you don't notice the editing at all.
Yeah, so they get nowhere. They're kind of slept on.
Yeah, it's slept on.
They're pure slept on.
Pure slept on. But like bad editing, you notice, and that's when you know it's bad. It's like some fucking amazing like edit or whatever. I can't even think of a film that's got like amazing editing or anything like that. I saw this thing about George Miller, because his wife did the editing to Mad Max Fury Road, and he gave it to his wife, and she was like, "I've never edited a film before." He's like, "Yeah, but I want you to do it, because if some dude does it, it's gonna look like any other action film."
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
So I think she won an award for it as well. She won an Oscar.
Yeah, how'd she manage that?
I have no idea.
Well, that had like pretty like avant-garde editing techniques in it. I suppose it's just some random person going like, yeah.
Yeah, this looks cool.
Speeding up scenes. Oh, that's a reference to Kurosawa. Or just some old woman at home. Yeah, that looks really good.
Yeah, I like that. Speed that up quicker. Yeah, no, because Mad Max does have some cool editing. Yeah, the speeding up and stuff like that. I suppose that's good editing.
Definitely.
I don't know, because like when something wins an Oscar for best editing, like yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah, sure. Sure, man. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, pat on the back, like.
Didn't fucking Bohemian Rhapsody win best editing?
Did it?
I'm pretty sure it did, and that's like notoriously like the worst editing.
Yeah. That's notorious for like just being shocking, isn't it?
It's just a bad film.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine that's good at all, but they just hand those awards out, you know.
Yeah, they literally do. We could win an Oscar. For this podcast.
We should, honestly, you know. We'll start running an ad campaign now. For your consideration. The Parapod.
Parapod, a visual
We're-
audio experience.
We'll run for the IFTAs.
What the fuck is the IFTAs?
The Irish Film and Television Awards.
Oh yeah,
Already entered us.
How could I forget?
It's huge. We're gonna attend the ceremony, but that's a while off now.
Yeah, I can't wait. 10 years from now, we might have something.
Yeah.
Oh, we leave it at that.
We'll leave it there. So,
What's our recommended film for next week?
reminder: next week we're watching Southland Tales by David Kelly, fellow Irishman, and he's directed. He's not really Irish.
He
but
made this wee film.
he made this wee film with The Rock and all the lads, and Owen thinks it's really good, so we're gonna watch it. I've heard it's really good. I think
yeah.
it's like has a it's like a huge. It was really poorly received, like pretty much every film we recommend. Very poorly received when it was released, and then people were like, "That's actually pretty good." I think it's only growing in reputation as time goes on. So we're gonna watch that next week. It's gonna be very interesting,
Yes.
and I can't wait.
Try and watch it. There's 2 cuts of this film. There's the theatrical cut and the Cannes cut. The Cannes cut is he wasn't finished making the movie when he brought it to Cannes. So he like slapped it together, and it's like it's 2.5 hours. But then the theatrical cut is 2 hours and 20. So
That's alright.
Watch the theatrical cut is the one that you should watch.
Yeah,
It's the one that's more widely available. This film is on YouTube to rent as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, is it on anything else? Netflix or anything?
It was on Mubi. I don't think it's on Mubi since.
All right. Well, we'll find it anyway.
We'll find it.
We'll rent it probably. So
Be grand.
it'll be great.
Right. See you all next week.
I'll see you lads.
Bye.